Breaking news coming out. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak has emerged in the United States. Now, this is days after we had seen similar illnesses reported in China. And then just yesterday, I let you know that we'd received word that China had said that they had this under control, that it was nothing to be alarmed of, that it was just simply because they had removed some of their restrictions. And now this was infecting a lot of small children. But then just yesterday, I let you know that we had heard that this was actually reported in the Netherlands, in India, Taiwan and Vietnam were concerned, and now today, breaking news coming out that this is taking place in the United States. And articles linked in the description below. As you know, I cite all the sources for you. This all just coming out today. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak emerges in the United States days after similar illnesses reported in China. Here's another one coming out that says Ohio is now the first state to report what they're calling the white lung syndrome outbreak. A mysterious outbreak of pneumonia has hit several parts of China, and now Ohio is the first American location to report an outbreak of illnesses with an extremely high number of children being hospitalized. Also coming out today, now Massachusetts says it is being hit by a mysterious wave of pneumonia in children, and they're also calling it the white lung outbreak, also being reported in Ohio, after China and Europe saw a surge in cases and hospitalizations. And as I mentioned, this came as yesterday. I shared with you, there was a map showing countries where pneumonia cases are rising after the China outbreak. And a lot of people are very concerned about this, because we had received reports from China that this was simply local. It was an epidemic. It was just their area. It should not spread. And it was because of the lifting of their restrictions. However, we're seeing the exact same thing now in India, which has not had those restrictions. And we're also seeing it in the Netherlands, which has not had restrictions either. So this is very concerning to a lot of people. And we had heard, I let you know yesterday, keep an eye on Europe, because whatever happens in Europe typically ends up happening in the United States a couple months later. That was the pattern that we had saw during the pandemic. However, now we're hearing the cases, they are already here. And I'd heard a lot of people on the live yesterday mention this. It's already here. And for those of you that said it, you were right. Now, let me take a look here first. I've just been talking. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay in the comments, just so that way I know that everybody is getting all the information correctly. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me. I see we've got 858 people in the chat room. People are saying, yes, they can see me and hear me okay. Great, awesome. And do me a favor, if you appreciate the breaking news, even though it's not what we want to hear, that this is now in the United States, smash that like button for me. Just takes a second. Can I get half of the room to smash the like button that have not yet done so? It just helps spread the information out. Can I get an extra 300 people that haven't yet hit the like button to do so? It would help me out with the algorithm a ton. It will share this information out so that way people in Massachusetts and Ohio know that this is taking place. And I actually heard from another YouTuber yesterday that lives in Ohio. They said they sent their kids home with letters saying they may have been exposed to some sort of illness. They weren't really sure what, and they said that it is spreading in the schools. So this is very concerning for those in Ohio, Massachusetts, and now we're going to be seeing this is going to be further spreading in the United States. But these reports coming out today that this is taking place here in the US. And like I said, articles starting to come out on this left and right. I've got a couple of them linked in the description, so that way you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. I see a lot of people in the comments saying that we're going through this again, saying that they've been sick. They believe that it's already been here. I've let several people know that I've been sick myself, but they're saying the vast majority of those that are catching this spread, which they're saying it doesn't line up. It doesn't quite make sense, because they're saying that it should be just a seasonal illness, but it is not the way that it has been. It is not lining up with what we've been hearing reported as. It is overwhelming the hospitals to a degree that has not been seen before. Also, they're saying if it was just China lifting their restrictions, why is it spreading and going around to other nations? It's very interesting, because I see Brooke in the comments saying, how is it spreading? Pneumonia isn't contagious. Brooke, exactly. That is exactly the question people are wanting to know. And it's very concerning to a lot of people, because here's the thing. This is the exact same scenario that we experienced literally 4 years ago. And people are saying we cannot trust the word of China and the WHO coming out saying this is a mysterious pneumonia, because that is what we heard 4 years ago. We had heard almost exactly 4 years ago, there was some mysterious pneumonia disease that was in China that was contained. It was simply an epidemic. It would not spread. And then sure enough, it started spreading, and it turned out it was not a mysterious pneumonia. It was something else. So right now there are reports coming out that it is being called the white lung syndrome. But whatever it is now here in the United States. And I asked a lot of people on the channel yesterday when this was coming out that if it came out to the US, would you keep your kids at home? And a lot of people said yes, they would not send their kids to school if this were the case. Now at this time, we've heard that a lot of kids have been getting sick. They're saying in some younger kids it can be very severe. However, they're also saying that there have not been any reports yet of any loss of life. So that is, I guess, the good news out of this, if there is any good news. But like I said, I just wanted to hop on and make sure that you guys see this. And I see somebody saying popcorn lung, says Saul to Paul, with a lung symbol in the comments. And yes, Saul to Paul, they're calling this the white lung syndrome because they're saying that there is inflammation, and in the x-rays, they look all white. And they're saying that it is, it's not good. It is not good. And these can take weeks, sometimes months for people to get over because it is a very difficult thing to deal with. And so let me give you the latest. As I mentioned, this is linked in the description below for you guys. Now, this first one says mysterious pneumonia outbreak is emerging in the United States. And as I mentioned, this just came out this morning. It says 3 hours ago, days after similar illnesses have been reported in China. Now, a surge of mysterious pneumonia cases has emerged in the U.S., with 142 children falling ill with the disease. The outbreak emerges in Warren County in Ohio, and the average age of affected children is about 8 years old. They are showing symptoms of cough, fever, and fatigue. Now, at least 3 pathogens have been detected in this outbreak. So they're saying this is a combination of pathogens that they're seeing. And it says it is including Mycoplasma pneumonia, which is the exact same thing that we were hearing in China, which they said typically you shouldn't be concerned about. Streptococcus pneumonia as well, and also adenovirus. However, these bugs regularly circulate in the US, making it unclear why there is a sudden surge in this appearing right now. And so that is the question, because a lot of people are saying this is typical, this is seasonal, this is not something to be concerned of. However, it is very odd that it is spreading. It seems to have started in China, and it is very confusing to doctors why it is hitting so hard and it is overwhelming the hospitals. And I shared with you the footage, the videos, and the pictures that we saw in China where literally they were overwhelmed. They're saying that the emergency room, you can't be seen literally for days because of all the kids that are in there. Photos of kids actually sitting with IVs at desks, looking at their laptops, trying to do schoolwork while being given IVs because entire classrooms are all sick at the same time, being overwhelmed. It says our school districts have called in starting roughly in August, but really picking up in mid-late October, which is when we started to get this information coming out of China. The WHO inquired with China asking, please give us more information because we are starting to be alarmed, and other nations being on alert with what's going on. And we've been noticing a lot of cases of kids being absent, and this resulting from diagnosis of being pneumonia, says a local doctor to the local news. So we realized that there may be something here, and we realized that this does meet the definition of an outbreak. So they're saying it is officially an outbreak, the definition. This is not a normal spread. It is impacting a lot of children all at once. And as we mentioned as well, in China, they said children and the elderly are being hit as well by this. It is yet another startling outbreak of pediatric pneumonia cases. And last week, reports emerged from Beijing and Liaoning in China that children's hospitals were overwhelmed by a surge of children being admitted with pneumonia. Now, Chinese officials also said that the outbreak was caused by the Mycoplasma pneumonia as well, alongside other regularly circulating respiratory illnesses. They blamed the country's strict prevention policies that were just recently lifted for the large uptick in cases, saying that their population is now vulnerable to regular bugs after limited exposure in recent years. But that, again, does not explain why it is now spreading to other countries where they have not had these strict restrictions in place. Now, in the days since, another pneumonia outbreak has appeared in the Netherlands, and I shared this with you yesterday. As soon as it came out live, I gave you the breaking news. And Danish officials have declared an epidemic caused by this same pneumonia strain as well. No new pathogens have been detected in any of these outbreaks, so far quelling fears that these surges of cases are early signs of a new pandemic from a new disease. So it's very odd because they're saying that it seems to be the similar typical thing that we normally would get, but it's hitting everybody all at the same time. And they're saying that this seems very unusual. And they're saying it is definitely an outbreak and it seems to be spreading in different nations. Warren County officials say they don't believe that there are any new pathogens spreading at this time. We do not think that this is a novel, new respiratory disease, but rather a large uptick in the number of pneumonia cases normally seen at one time, the county health department said in a press release, but they're saying that this is an outbreak. Now, also, correction on this to let you guys know, this article, it says it initially gave a version of the story that misrepresented the outbreak as occurring in the state of New York. This is not happening in the state of New York. It is saying that this is actually happening in the state of Ohio. So clarification. So that was the first one. And as I mentioned, came out today. Here's another one that says Ohio, a mysterious outbreak of pneumonia has hit several parts. A mysterious outbreak of pneumonia has hit several parts of China, and now it is in Ohio. It is the first American location to be reported with the outbreak of the illness, with an extremely high number of children now being hospitalized. The strain of pneumonia, now dubbed the white lung syndrome, has spawned 142 pediatric cases in Warren County since August. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, Massachusetts is now on the list for the spread. Now, Massachusetts say that it's being hit by a mysterious wave of pneumonia in children, the white lung outbreak also in Ohio, after China and Europe saw a surge in cases and hospitalizations. So this is very concerning that we're starting to see this. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Are you concerned about this spread? If so, put a 1 in the comments. If you are not, please put a 2. I'd like to see your thoughts. Do you think that 1, this is something that they're not letting on? Or do you think 2, that this is just your typical seasonal spread and it just so happens to be outbreaking in the United States as well? All right, so I'm seeing a mix in the comments section, 1s and 2s. Some people are saying this is cause for alarm. Some people saying this could be just your regular seasonal spread. There's nothing to be alarmed about. I'm seeing some people putting 1s and 2s as well. I'm seeing some people saying it is election year, and we knew that this was coming. And it's interesting that it is exactly 4 years ago from when we had the last one. If you think that there is something to do with that, put a 3 in the comments. I'd like to see how many people think that there is something to do with that, with what is coming up exactly 4 years later. I'd be very curious to see people's thoughts. A lot of 3s. A lot of 3s coming up. People saying that it is uncanny that it is happening exactly 4 years later. Very interesting, you guys. And a lot of people saying it's very difficult for us to trust the word of China and of WHO after what unfolded with the last pandemic, after we had them literally say the exact same thing, exact same scenario, almost the exact same time of year as well. Mysterious spread was happening in October of 2019. They said they had it under wraps. It was a mysterious pneumonia. And then it began to spread, and then it began to go out into other countries. And then it turned out that it was something different. And we had a once in a generation pandemic, global pandemic. And a lot of people have been saying, we've been hearing the warnings from a lot of experts in the science field that study these diseases, saying that we could get hit with another one. I've seen people in the comments mentioning disease X. Also, we've had the one with the concerns about the mosquito outbreak. WHO has been warning us that there is going to be a deadly disease coming out that's going to be very painful as a result of mosquitoes. And so a lot of people are saying that it's on the way, and they're saying it could be sooner than we anticipate, which just seems absolutely incredible to me, because this is typically a once in a generation thing where we have a global pandemic. The last one we had was with the Spanish flu, right in around the 1910s, 1920s, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the exact date, almost exactly 100 years ago. And now we're having this, and it just seems like the next one would likely come 100 years from now, but they're saying it could happen right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that we're going to get hit with another global pandemic right now? If you think that, do me a favor, put a 5 in the comments if you think we are about to get hit with another global pandemic. Put a 6 if you think no. we're not going to get hit with a global pandemic. I see a lot of 5s, people saying yes, we're about to have another global pandemic. Some people saying 6s. What I think is very interesting is my thought too, as well, is how will people receive this? I don't think, after what we have gone through for the past 4 years, just my thought is that it is going to be very difficult to tell people again to take all of the necessary precautions that we saw for the past 4 years, over the past, 3 years, I think it was 2-3 years in the United States. Tanya, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate that. God bless you. We all appreciate you. She says, I appreciate you as well. Want to make sure that you guys have the latest information. And wow, we've got 1,691 people on. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you have not yet done so and you appreciate the updates. Can I get 200 more people to hit the like button, get that like button over 1,000. It just helps with the algorithm. It'll spread this out so people can know what's going on. People are saying that you should go to the polls or the voting booths in person. If you're thinking that stuff, you're concerned, I would definitely say do that. MG 499, thank you so much. I appreciate that super chat on the live stream. It says, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. There's a lot of people saying that they're concerned about this. This is being the plandemic. Some people are saying 2.0. Hey, you know what? It looks like we're starting to see a repeat. A lot of people saying deja vu of what we experienced exactly 4 years ago. Man, it is wild. I mean, I'm shocked. I feel like after everything we've been through, to see this again and now seeing it hit in the U.S. It's just astonishing. And as I reported to you guys yesterday, I shared with you a map of the different countries where the pneumonia cases were rising. Don Rose, thank you for doing that, adding members to the channel. As a result of becoming a member and joining, now all of the sources that I have, they will pop up in your YouTube feed. I cite them after every video. You'll see them, but if not, don't worry. You'll also have them linked in the description. I cite all my sources so that way you guys know exactly where the information is coming from. But let's take a look at this thing from Massachusetts as well, so that way you guys can know what's going on there. And I'm very curious to see where would be the next state, if this is going to spread, where this is going to start coming out. So we've got Ohio, Massachusetts. Doctors in Massachusetts and Ohio are now reporting extremely high numbers of children suffering from pneumonia amid a mysterious wave of infections that hit China and is now entering into Europe. Oh, wow. Okay, so I said to watch Europe. Typically what happens in Europe happens in the United States. They're saying it's already here. Sandra, welcome to the Ram fam. Thank you so much for joining and your support. I appreciate it. Mountain Goddess, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. I'm relatively new to your channel, sharing everywhere. Thank you. You are so welcome. I hope the information is helpful. Just as breaking news comes out that could affect our daily lives, affect our children and what's going on in the world, I'll keep you guys up to date on everything. Now, this says doctors in Massachusetts and Ohio are reporting extremely high numbers of children suffering from pneumonia amid a mysterious wave of infections that had hit China and now Europe. Dr. John Kelly in Western Massachusetts warned more children were coming to his clinic with what they call walking pneumonia. And we also heard this is being called the white lung syndrome, as well as a whole lot of youngsters with coughs, runny noses, and fevers. Health officials at Warren County, Ohio, just 30 miles outside of Cincinnati, say there have been 142 pediatric cases of this condition dubbed the white lung syndrome since August. Not only, it says, is this above the county average, it also meets the Ohio Department of Health's definition of an official outbreak. So as I mentioned, this is official. This is not just a spreading. They're saying this is abnormal, what is taking place. The county's health department said this on Wednesday, yesterday. Now, the spread of the cases has raised fears that American outbreaks of the infection that have overwhelmed hospitals in China could hit this winter. Several European countries are battling similar crises. Very interesting, because as of yesterday, I did not see anything for Europe other than Netherlands. And now this is coming out today that it actually is hitting Europe as well. But a source at the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, or the CDC, said that nationally, nothing is out of the ordinary, which is very interesting that the CDC is saying that, because we're hearing the opposite from experts. Autism Mama, welcome. Welcome to the Ram fam. Thank you for that. I hope that the information is helpful. You will get these articles popping up in your YouTube feed. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. So, man, let me know your thoughts. Who do you agree with, the local experts or the CDC? Let me know in the comments. Put local or put CDC. Who do you think do you agree with? The CDC is saying this is nothing out of the ordinary, but the local hospitals, the experts, the professionals, the doctors are saying this is the official definition of an outbreak. An ongoing investigation is underway right now in Ohio into what is triggering this wave of illnesses. But officials do not think that it is a new respiratory disease. And this is the thing that is confusing to people. They're saying this seems like the typical thing, yet it is hitting hard and all at once. And instead, they're blaming a mixture of several common infections all hitting at once. So that one coming out for Massachusetts. Oh, and there's some more here. It says patients so far have tested positive for Mycoplasma pneumonia, the bacteria lung infection of which some antibiotics are useless. Wow, oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention is that they're saying that antibiotics do not work against this. So the typical thing that they use to try to slow it down and to stop it, they're saying they can't. Strep and also adenovirus, a normally benign respiratory infection. The average age of the patients right now is 8 years old, though some are as young as 3 years old. There are several theories, one of which is that children's immunity has been weakened by the lockdowns, mask wearing, and school closures during the pandemic, leaving them more vulnerable to seasonal illnesses. Bacterial respiratory infections usually flare up every few years, normally as people are recovering from a wave of the flu or other viral illnesses. Mycoplasma pneumonia infections tend to peak every 3 to 7 years, the CDC says, with the illness having not peaked since the last pandemic in 2020. So the CDC is saying nothing to worry about. And that's what we heard from WHO as well. They're saying that China is saying that this is just them lifting their restrictions, and there are weak immune systems in the children that are now being hit. However, very odd that it is spreading, and we're now seeing it in the US as well. Most infections are mild, the doctors are saying, but those who have recently recovered from the respiratory infection are at high risk. Wash your hands, cover your mouth when you cough, stay home when you're ill, and stay up to date on your vaccinations, they're saying. As we approach the holiday season, when many of us will be gathering together with family and friends, please remember to take the necessary precautions to protect your health. The doctors are saying, doctors say patients are mostly suffering from fevers, coughs, and fatigues. It is unclear if any have lost their lives as a result. Oh, wow. So I thought there were reports of no loss of life, but now they're saying it is unclear if loss of life has resulted of the illness. Officials have not responded to a request for information. Wow. Okay, I did not know that. I'm reading this for the first time. So there are reports of people that have lost their lives, but they're not sure if it is due to the illness or not. That changes everything. Wow. Because I thought that the good news was that there was no reports of loss of life, but now they're saying it is unclear if there has been loss of life, which means that there has been as a result of what's taking place. Wow, that is very, very interesting. That changes things quite a bit. Pamela says, what are you reading? Pamela, it is all linked in the description. These are articles that have come out today regarding Ohio and Massachusetts, and what they're saying has started in China, now spreading to the United States. It's also reported in the Netherlands. It is reported in India. It is reported in Thailand and in Vietnam. And they were saying that this seems to be spreading. So very concerning. And they're saying that this is, without a doubt, the definition of an outbreak. Local experts, doctors are saying this is an official outbreak by the definition of this. This is not something that is typical, which is very concerning because they're saying it seems to be the typical spread that you would expect seasonally, but the way it is hitting is not typical. And it feels like a repeat of what took place 4 years ago. A lot of people are very concerned with what's unfolding. Wow, we've got 1,948 people on live with me, 1,158 likes. Can I get another 200 likes? Can I get that up to 1,350? If you appreciate the updates, it just spreads this out further. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And thank you guys for the support. Those of you becoming members, those of you sending super chats, it means the world to me, your support. And I just want to make sure that I get you guys the latest on this. This is breaking news, as I mentioned, just coming out today. These are linked in the description. And also, for those of you that are members, this will just pop up in your YouTube feed. You can click the links. Let's see here. Comments. Somebody says, I'm locked in, says iStream6. 9 million people that didn't get medication, says Casey. Shouldn't be surprised for anyone. Raymond says BS, so I guess he's not believing it. You know what, Raymond? This is what's coming out. People are saying they're getting this illness, and whatever happens, though, I'll let you guys know. And it looks like they're saying it's actually spreading. Keeping everyone home for WW3, says Karen Cruz. I just watched the blue sky get sprayed all day, says Angela Flight. You're talking about those streaks in the sky. How was lake effect snow, says Brian. Track hurricanes. I don't know what that means, Brian. Let's see here. Outbreak scarlet fever in the UK, says maybe. Yeah, wow. So I did not know that. I did not know that it was spreading in Europe. Yesterday, I reported to keep an eye on Europe because whenever it hits Europe, usually they say 2 to 3 months later, we get hit as well. KJ says, sounds like you're getting sick, Steve. KJ, I hope not. For the past couple months, I've been sick. I'm finally starting to feel better, so hopefully not again. Thank you for the updates, and thank you for your channel, says JB5150. You are welcome. I hope that it is helpful. I'll keep you guys up to date. And like I said, all of this is linked in the description below. And this is very concerning because this was happening in China. Now, yesterday I reported it was happening in other nations, Netherlands, India, Thailand, Vietnam. And I said to just watch Europe because whatever happens in Europe comes to the US, it seems. That's what we experienced before. And now we're getting reports that it is already here. And it was crazy because I saw people in the comments yesterday saying, it's already here, Steve, it's already here. But I'm not going to report to you anything that I cannot verify. And then today, sure enough, reports coming out verifying that it is here. And they're saying that it is official. Experts saying official outbreak in the United States. So by the definition of an outbreak of an illness, it is officially here. Jonathan Fleming says, sounds like a repeat. Yes, this, Jonathan, a lot of people agree with you. I was asking in the comments for people to leave 1s and 2s and their thoughts on things, and very concerning because it feels like an exact repeat of what took place 4 years ago when we had heard that there was something going on in China. And then later on, it ended up not being a mysterious pneumonia. It ended up being the next global pandemic. So a lot of people are concerned, and a lot of people feel like the information they're giving saying, oh, not to worry about it, is even more concerning because that's what we had heard before. And now it seems like it's starting to spread. And I shared with you guys yesterday as well. I heard from another YouTuber that is in Ohio that they sent his kid home with a piece of paper saying your child might have been exposed to some lung disease that's going around and to just keep an eye on them, other kids getting sick. And sure enough, this coming out in the news that it is an official spread in Ohio. So very, very concerning. Let us prepare for this found, says Brenda. Yes, you know what? I believe that we should prepare however we can. And if we go the route of this repeat of everything, what would you do differently? Let me know your thoughts. What would you do differently if you knew that this was happening again? What we experienced in 2020 and then for the next 2 or 3 years, what would you do differently now if this is going to happen again? Would you stock up on supplies, food, water? Would you keep your kids home? I'd be very curious. Charlene says, Steve, why is Russia not reporting anything? Charlene, great question. I don't know. I guess so far I've not seen this hit like other nations. So I'm just reporting on the ones that I've seen so far that I have actual information on. Like I said, I cite the sources. Yesterday, I had people saying it's already here, but I didn't see any reports on it. I'm not going to report anything unless I feel like it's actually a good source to report on. So that way I can share it with you guys. I never want it to be my speculation or any information coming from Steve. People question sometimes the reporting. And so I let you guys know, hey, listen, this is where I got it from, and I'd usually try to do a very thorough job fact checking these, want to see several sources. And then if they get it wrong, then I'll just say, hey, the source was wrong. That's the same thing that happened before with what took place at the Niagara Falls. They had said that it was one thing, turned out later it wasn't. I made sure to let you guys know the update that it wasn't what they had initially said. Somebody said social distancing 7 feet. Yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious to see how this unfolds. I think a lot of people are very skeptical and very concerned after everything that we've been through the past 4 years, Jonathan Fleming says, in God we trust, prepared, not scared. Yes, I agree 100%. That is why I like to share this. I don't want anybody to be living in fear. I don't want you to be scared, but I do want you to be prepared. I believe that is what we should do here, and make sure that we are all in the know of what's taking place. Evan Whiteside says, kick back and collect stimulus checks. Evan, we will see. Whatever happens, I'll let you guys know. Now, speaking of that, I shared with you a video just recently. You might want to check it out. There's still $400 billion left over from the stimulus packages. That's right, $400 billion, which is literally the amount, the price tag of the third stimulus check that went out of $1,400 to individuals and dependents. So if they needed, they wouldn't have to spend any more money. They don't need to have Congress. There's a piggy bank sitting there with $400 billion. They could access it. They could dish out $1,400 checks to everybody if needed. Which it's very disheartening because, as I've shared with you here on the channel, that was actually the original intent of the money. The money was meant to go out to help people, and it's just sitting there. And they've been clawing it back, using it for other things, been watching it for several years go down, 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 mysteriously disappearing. But yeah, I mean, that could be a possibility. If we have a repeat of what took place, it might be needed. But I'll keep you guys up to date on that. The only difficult thing is, would they issue out new funds with the inflation that we've been fighting? That would be a difficult thing. However, at the same time, they literally just sent out over $100 billion overseas to help other nations with war. So, I mean, why couldn't they issue out more new funds for people here in the U.S. that are hurting, especially if we have people that have to stay indoors as a result of what's taking place? So I would not say it's not a possibility. We will see. It all just depends on how things unfold here. This could be the beginnings of a repeat. I hope not. I don't think anybody wants to go through that again. But if it is, whatever unfolds, as you guys know, here in the channel, I will keep you up to date on everything. Get the likes up to 2K, says Mark Roberts. Yes, I would appreciate it. All it does, when you hit the like button, it just spreads this out more. If I can get people that have not yet hit the like button to do so, can we get that up to 2,000? That would be crazy. If I could get, what is that? What's the math? An extra 540 people to hit the like button that haven't done so. Please do so. I appreciate it. And again, I actually forgot to mention this because I was so shocked with the news coming out. Hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, I'll keep you up to speed on everything. I cite all the sources. They're linked in the description. And if you become a member and support the channel, hit the join button. All of my sources will pop up in your YouTube feed every day. So whatever I'm reporting on, you can just have it pop up right there. You can click the links and you'll get them. But like I said, if not, no worries. I cite them all anyways. They're just in the description. So right below the title, underneath this video, you can click and then it'll drop down all of my sources. You can click the links and it'll take you right to the article so you can see exactly what I'm reading. You can see the dates. You can see the information and verify everything that I'm saying so that way you can see the sources. And this article from Massachusetts, they actually are showing x-rays of what the lungs look like. And yeah, it is incredible. They're showing the healthy lungs, and in the x-ray, they look black. And then they're showing what they're looking like now, and they are looking, it's just whited out. So whatever it is, they're calling it the white lung outbreak. It is making the lungs look whited out on the x-ray reports. So very concerning stuff. But again, for those of you that are hopping on new, asking what's going on, it is just that we're getting official word that the outbreak for the white lung disease or the mysterious pneumonia disease that's taking place in China is officially here in the U.S., declared an outbreak. Bugsy, welcome to the Ram Fam. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. These will now pop up in your YouTube feed right after this live stream. I take my notes, I drop them into the community feed, and you'll get all links to all of these articles. So that way you can click on them, read them for yourself. Blacken says, Bugsy, welcome. Yes, thank you for the support. Let's see, this is all by design, says Brenda. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I saw someone cough and I'm scared, says S. Axel. You know what? Somebody saying they didn't get a stimulus check back in November from Arkansas. And some of these YouTubers are, in fact, full of faulty information and clickbaiting everyone. Yes, Zena, 100%. I always say don't listen to anybody unless they cite the sources and unless they also they cite the sources and they let you comment. I've seen ones where they don't let you comment. I'm like, what in the world? Like, people got questions that want to know the information you're giving. You're not letting them comment. To me, those are sketchy. And people that don't put their face on the screen. I'm not ashamed to put myself out there because I'm trying to help people. So those to me are always just like signs to just be cautious, be careful. And so I cite all the sources. You can click them. You can Google search them. You can see what it is that I'm putting out there, because people need information. I feel like right now with everything going on, there's so much chaos. People need good information. Maria is saying, Google it. Yes, Google it, and you'll be able to see this coming out today, all this information. So the titles on these, if you want to look them up, Google them. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak emerges in the U.S. Ohio, first state to report the white lung syndrome outbreak. Now Massachusetts saying it's being hit by mysterious wave of pneumonia in children, white lung outbreaks. So go ahead and Google any of those. You'll see them pop up. And again, if not, I'm linking these in the description so that way you can see it for yourself. Tina is saying, don't comply. Yeah, we've heard a lot of people vocalize that. Joseph says, I am prone to pneumonia. Joseph, I am praying for all of those that have weak immune systems, because this is, not the news we want to hear. Stay blessed, Ramfam, says Gail. Stay safe. Yes, amen to that. Correlation between this and other medications that are taking place, says Ty Travis. Ty, we do not have any information on that. If I do, though, I'll be sure to report it if I can, if you catch my drift. I try to make sure that I report to you guys in a way that does not make things so that way I can't report, if you understand what I'm saying. You have to be very careful about how you portray things on social media so that way you can report what is true, but also not get in trouble for it. Let's see here. William Bird says, an alkaline body gathers no disease. William, thank you for the super chat. I'm not really sure what that means, but but I appreciate that. Let's see here. Somebody saying they're going to the doctor tomorrow. Yeah, there's been a lot of people getting sick. Keep your kids at home, says Anu. Yeah, Anu, I did a poll and I asked people if they were going to keep their kids at home, and a lot of people said yes, absolutely. They're concerned about the health and safety of their children and the spread that's going on. Somebody said you can't live and not breathe air. Yeah. Somebody said hit the like button. Almost at 2K, says Mark. Mark, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, can I get people to hit the like button? 2,300 people in the room with me. 1,752 likes. Wow, 250 more likes. We can get that up over 2,000. Black Cad, thank you for adding more members to the channel. You are awesome. I appreciate that. And all of those of you that just became members, now all of the sources for my videos, as the breaking news comes out, they will pop up in your YouTube feed. So that way you can get the latest on this. IDGA Buck gave $1.99. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. What's your opinion on this in China downplaying, says IDA Buck. IDA, so my opinion is not, doesn't really matter. I'm not an expert. I'm just some guy that's reporting the news that's coming out. But in my personal opinion, I got to agree with a lot of people that it is very hard for us to take them at their word after what just happened. It's kind of like you kind of feel like, you were lied to before, and then you're hearing the same thing again, and it kind of makes you feel, am I being lied to again? And also too, keep in mind that there's a lot of global tensions taking place right now, and with these global tensions that are happening, China is not exactly our ally right now. They're actually considered against us. So, it's very hard to accept that at their word. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you feel like we can trust China right now, or do you think that we can't? If you think that we can trust China, put a 7. If you think that we can't, put an 8. I would be curious to see if you guys think that we can or we cannot trust China. If you think we can, put a 7. If you think no, put an 8. And I see people saying China has to be held accountable. I see people putting 8s. Yeah. So, I think that it's very hard to trust somebody when they lied to you and then they're lying to you again. Sorry if you said already, what's your thoughts on Venezuela, says Black Cat. Black Cat, with Venezuela, I have not heard any updates on that. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Please let me know. If there are updates going on with that as well, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Which one are you referring to? Is there an outbreak there as well? Let's see here. Somebody's saying fake C19 all over again. Shame on you, says Wayne Best. Yeah, you know what? We will see. I'll keep everybody up to date. I'm not sure if you're saying shame on me or if you're saying shame on Congress, but I'll be sure to just share with you guys what's going on so that way you can know what's taking place and you can make choices for yourself. I'm just the messenger. I'm just making sure that you guys know what's going on. I am not saying what this is or is not, just making sure that people are aware, because I think that is the most important thing. Somebody's saying hit the like button. Mark, I appreciate you for the support. Yes. Wow, we're only 80 likes away and we've got 2,400 people in the room. Can I get 80 people to hit the like button that have not done so? It just helps spread it out, helps out the channel. Just that small gesture, it just takes a second to click it and it just helps spread things out further. I appreciate it, you guys. President Janet Jenkins for Vice President. Steve Ram and Janet. Yes, let's go, Janet. What do you say? Ram and Jenkins 2024. Let's see. Black Cat, Venezuela with the support of China attacking its neighbor in the east. Brazil and China have ties. Black Cat. Wow. Okay. So I'll have to look into that more. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Black Cat. I will look into that. Man, it just seems like all the nations right now are rising up against each other, declaring war, saying they're going to do war against each other. It's all over the place. We've got Ukraine and Russia. We've got China, Taiwan. We've got Israel, Hamas. We've got the United States with Iran. It is absolutely incredible, you guys. Let's see here. KJ says, hit the like button and you get paid, Steve Ram. You can be honest with us. We will help you make some money. KJ, no, that's not how it works at all. I wish it was, but you can ask any YouTuber. You can look it up. The way that Google pays you is for the advertisements. So when the little commercials pop up, I get paid. But the like button doesn't pay me. The like button, but it does spread it out so more people can see it. That's how it works. Yeah. Somebody saying A2Z says biological warfare. Somebody says my birthday is coming up. Oh man, the comments are moving so fast. I'm missing them. Let's see here. Let me hold $20, says KJ. KJ, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. Trump for president 2024, says Leia. Leia, you know what? We're hearing that it is likely going to be Trump and Biden once again. And so, yeah, so for Jenny Jenkins that said she wanted to run, we would have to go up likely against Trump and Biden. And right now what I'm hearing is that we probably could take Biden. Biden's approval is so low, we probably could take him, but I don't know about Trump. I think that right now things are swinging for Trump for sure. I think that a lot of people just are not happy with the way things are going. The global conflict, a lot of people are saying, is because there's not a lot of respect for Biden. And but we'll see. We will see. And I've heard a lot of people say that this would not happen, and it didn't happen if Trump were the president. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything that's going to be coming right around the corner. Can I post a link for you to look at, says Black Cat? Absolutely, sure. And also, too, Black Cat, the best way to get a hold of me personally is on Instagram, Steve Ram 3. That is my handle, Steve Ram 3, with the number 3 at the end of Steve Ram on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, Steve Ram 3. And be sure to only send it to Steve Ram on Instagram or TikTok. There are a lot of copycats on different platforms. I don't have any other accounts. I've had people message me on TikTok, why do you have so many accounts? They're not me. I've only got one. It's Steve Ram 3. So we'll see. Somebody said, hey, Steve, I watch you every day, but my daughter says this is fake news. How can I prove it to her? Terry Sparks, great question. All my articles are linked in the description. You can go to all of my sources there. I cite everything. So that way you can make sure that it is actually the latest news coming out. So I've got right now 4 articles that I referenced today. 3. One is mysterious pneumonia outbreak emerges in the U.S. One is Ohio is the first state to report this white lung syndrome outbreak that came from China. And the last one is Massachusetts is being hit by this mysterious wave as well. And then check out the videos yesterday. As we're hearing, this is a global spread taking place. And there's maps showing all the countries that have been hit aside from China. China, Taiwan, Vietnam, India, Netherlands, and now the United States as well. Mom Life and Lessons, $4.99. Thank you so much, Mom Life and Lessons. I appreciate that. You are amazing. I appreciate the support, you guys. I agree. None of this would be happening in the streets of New York if we had a different president, says Sandra. Sandra, I had some friends in New York this week, and they were sending me video clips. They were actually at the tree lighting, and there were protests in the tree lighting. Somebody stole one of the hats from one of the police officers and was burning it in the streets, and the police were fighting back. I saw the video footage. It was actually from them, and the video footage, man, they were fighting. The police were not playing in New York last night. I think it was last night. They were hitting them back, and they were throwing them on the floor, and then people were shouting and saying, like, get off of them, like this, shame on you. And the police were not having it in New York last night. They were whooping them up in the streets and locking them up. If you guys want, I can do some video updates on that as well. But I just saw this, and I was just blown away that this is actually here in the United States. And we'll see if this continues to spread. Let's see. Janet Jenkins gifted 1 Steve Ram membership. Thank you so much, Janet. And that goes to George Mitchell. George, welcome to the Ram fam. I'll keep you posted on everything. Let's see here. It's not real, says white lung is just pneumonia. I had it a year ago. It's not fatal unless you're compromised or elderly. Yes. And see, that is the concern right now. Hi, it's not real. The concern is this. The concern is that what they're saying it is and what is actually spreading the way it is, they're saying it's not lining up. They're saying that it's the white lung pneumonia. They're saying it's the mycoplasma pneumonia. And they're saying that it's all these things. And they're saying that the WHO and China is saying nothing to be alarmed about. It's just the typical spread. But yet it is spreading. And it is overwhelming the hospitals. And the reason why so many people are upset about this is because this is exactly what they told us 4 years ago. So there's a lot of people saying, what is this exactly? Why are we getting mixed information? Why are we being told that it's this thing, but the way it's unfolding is way different? And also, if it's only spreading because they lifted their restrictions, why is it not just only happening in China? Why is it now in the US? Why is it in India? Why is it in the Netherlands? So there's a lot of people saying they don't feel like they can trust what is being reported by China. A lot of people very concerned. So that's the reason why it's not real. Oh, he's saying exactly 100 with heart. Okay, so it's not real. I think he was being sarcastic, but I didn't get the sarcasm in the comment. You are right. If you're feeling like, oh, so yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people questioning it right now. So we'll see. Whatever unfolds, I'll let you guys know. Kathy Maloney says Trump Tucker 2024. I saw that. Do you think that Tucker Carlson is going to be VP for Trump? Let me know your thoughts. I saw that he was at a fight or something like that, and that they came out together, and a lot of people were saying that. And I'm not sure if I remember exactly, but I think they questioned Trump and asked him if he would do that. And I want to say he said sure, or like he thinks he's a great guy. I'm not sure. Somebody said they would not mask up again. They will not do it. We'll see, you guys. I sure hope that we don't have to go down this path again. But whatever happens, I will keep you guys up to date. Brenda's giving Tucker a thumbs up. Interesting that the leader of China was here. Says New Age of New Creation, Aaron. Yes. Did you see that? Came to California. When he came, it was, man, there was reports that the streets were cleaned up really quick. They said there was a lot of homeless that they just disappeared. And the streets that President Xi of China came down, they had them lined up with Chinese flags. And I saw actually video footage of Americans furious. Like, why are we doing this? And they were going and they were ripping down the Chinese flags along the path, saying, like, this is not China. Why are we putting up China's flags on our streets? This is the US. Why is California doing this? It was absolutely incredible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It was absolutely incredible. But yeah, he was just here. And now we've got this sickness spreading as well. Steve put LOL. First Lady says, yeah, no, we are not going to be doing that again. Queens of Vegas says, I'm depressed. Queens, I know it's very difficult. Don't be depressed. We're here for each other. We're going to keep everybody up to date. I'll let you know so that way we can know exactly what's going on. We're not going to be scared. We're going to be prepared. Somebody said so eloquently in the comments. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything. No mail-in ballots for this pandemic flu just in time, says Gayla. Yep, I'm hearing a lot of people saying that. Mountain Goddess says, I bet they will come up with a treatment and tell us that if we don't take it, we're not going to survive. You know what? Whatever unfolds, I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll make sure that you know. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It just does feel like a repeat of everything before. Hopefully we don't go down that road. And I was shocked to read this in this news article right now live with you guys. I did not realize that there actually have been those that have passed away from this, but they've not been confirmed as to whether or not it is as a result of the spread. What's the latest on Iran, says Eric. Eric, I will check up for you. Right now, I know that they extended the ceasefire in Israel with Gaza and the Hamas attacks, and Iran is financially backs Hamas openly. And so Iran says that if Israel keeps attacking Gaza and Hamas, that they will pay along with the U.S. They said the U.S. won't be spared from their fire, and that we will, pay the price as a result. But I'll keep you up to date. But right now, the ceasefire, from what I heard, has been extended as they're still releasing more hostages. They're finally making their way back home. Let's see here if there's any other ones that I can help out with. Somebody says amen to Black Cad, Jonathan Floming. Caravan of 4M coming to the U.S. border, says BJK. Wow. Yeah, we have got to secure those borders, because right now the concerns that the FBI is saying about potential attacks coming into the United States, sleeper cells and all these things. We actually had a cyber attack in Alabama against the water system. And since Thanksgiving, there have been 3 cyber attacks that I have seen that have taken place against hospitals, messing up the ambulance routes. They had to reroute people that were in emergencies to other hospitals because systems went down. So it is happening. There are cyber attacks. We're just concerned to see any big ones that could really cause problems. Now, the one with Alabama with the water system, was not Alabama. It was Pennsylvania. The one with Pennsylvania, and you can go back and check my videos. I think I did a live on it, or I can't remember if it was a video or a live, but you can check. I've got the link in there. Luckily, they stopped them. Once they lost control of the water for that county or whatever that municipal district was, they were able to shut them off and stop it from causing any problems to the drinking water for that area. But as more comes out, I'll let you guys know. Mysterious child pneumonia cases skyrocket in Europe as hospitals overrun in China, says Bud710. Wow, Bud710. Yeah, okay. So it is happening in Europe right now. So, wow. Usually when it hits Europe, we're only a month or 2 away, 2-3 months away. So my guess is they're saying it's hitting right now in Ohio and Massachusetts. We might be a couple months away from this spreading and having issues here in the United States. Wow. And as I mentioned, we heard that it was official outbreak by definition. Oh, Bud710 says this was 11 minutes ago. Wow. Okay, so it is officially coming out right now. Bud710, thank you for that. Let me see if I can find it. This is like incredible breaking news on breaking news. Europe outbreak. Let me see if I can find it right now while we're live. I'll take a look and see because, yeah, let's see here. 2 hours ago, childhood pneumonia cases spike in Europe following China outbreak. Wow, you are right. You are on it. Thank you to the RamFam research team. Childhood pneumonia cases spike in Europe following the China outbreak, coming out 2 hours ago. Child pneumonia cases spike in Europe following the China outbreak. Another one, childhood pneumonia cases spike in Europe following the China outbreak 2 hours ago. Childhood pneumonia cases spike in Europe following China. They all have the same title. These are 4 different news articles. Childhood pneumonia cases surge in Europe as fears rise over the outbreak in China. This, let's see here. 13 minutes ago, mysterious child pneumonia cases skyrocket in Europe as hospitals overrun in China. Okay, so it is official. Whatever it is, we still don't know what it is. They're claiming that it's typical stuff, but why is it spreading like it is? And now it's official. This is coming out that it is spreading all throughout Europe, and we've got our first cases here in the United States. Experts warn Europe to prepare for the worst case scenario over the China outbreak. This coming out 11 hours ago. Okay, so this must have been throughout the day. A ton of them coming out 2 hours ago, but this one coming out 11 hours ago. So today in Europe, they are saying they are preparing for the worst. Massive surge taking place in Europe, which means that typically we see the same thing in the US shortly after. Eddie Gray is saying, what states? Okay, I see we've got 2,624 people on live with me. So for those of you that are hopping on new, we're getting more breaking news information coming out than even what I came on for that I expected. So it is officially in the US. We have an official outbreak here. So far, the reports are coming out in Ohio and Massachusetts. These are linked in the description for you guys. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak emerges in the US. Ohio is the first state to report the white lung syndrome outbreak. Massachusetts says that it's being hit as well by the mysterious wave of pneumonia in children. That's 3 different articles I just read. And then we also heard that there actually has been loss of life as what's taken place, but they cannot confirm whether or not it is as a result of what's spreading. Yesterday, I shared with you that it was in China. It had spread to India, the Netherlands, and Vietnam and Taiwan were beginning to take precautions as a result of what happened. And then now, just live, one of the people on the live with me said that it is officially considered an outbreak spread in Europe. And I Googled it right now, and sure enough, article after article coming out saying that it is spreading throughout Europe as well. So what we saw with the pandemic that took place 4 years ago was that whatever happened in Europe, whenever there were spikes, it usually came to the US 1, 2, maybe 3 months later. So now they're saying that this would be an indication that we're likely going to be seeing a spike if this continues to spread. So, very concerning, but at the same time, don't want anybody to live in fear, as I mentioned. We don't want anybody to be scared. We want people to be prepared. We want people to be knowing what exactly is taking place. So this just coming out. And again, the concern is it feels like a repeat of what we saw 4 years ago. We had heard not to be concerned. It was some sort of mysterious pneumonia thing that was going around that was just inside of China. And then it spread and we had a global pandemic. So a lot of people concerned. This feels like a repeat. So that is what we're reporting on. That's what's going on. For those of you that are hopping on new, I see we've got 2,719 people on live with me. And again, if you guys are new hopping on and you appreciate the updates, do me a favor, hit the like button. We've got 2,477 likes. Can we get that up to match the people in the room? Can I get like 250 people that have not yet done so to hit the like button? I would appreciate it. All it does is spread this out. It spreads it out so YouTube can share it out with more people so that way they can see what's going on. Also, too, if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date on everything. Turn on the notification bell so when live updates like this come out, you get notified right away. And all my sources are cited. I link them in the description for you guys. And thank you to all the member support. All of these articles, as soon as I get off this live, I will upload them and you'll see them in your YouTube feed. They'll pop up. You can click the links. It'll take you right to the latest updates. So we'll see what unfolds here. People are saying run from the poke. We'll see what comes out with this. Share the channel with your friends and family, says Gail Rose. Gail, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yes, share it out. Make sure that people know, especially right now if they're in Ohio or Massachusetts. This is where they're saying it is, but with the way this is going, it is likely going to continue to spread, is the concern. And right now we're hearing that it's a massive spike. Breaking news right off the press is happening right now, that it is actually happening in Europe. Mark Walken says, dude, stop scaring people. Mark, listen, I'm not trying to scare people. This is coming out. This is in the news. And I just want people to be aware of what's taking place. I don't want people to be scared. I want them to be prepared. I want people to know what's happening. I don't think that we should just stick our head in the sand and not feel like, and just pretend like nothing's going on. Jim Jones, Christ Conan, $1.99. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all behind the curve if you're prepped anyways. Yes, Jim Jones. So I've heard a lot of people saying they are now becoming preppers as a result of everything that's going on. I've been stocking up on water and supplies for my family as well. I just feel like, I don't know if you feel it. It just feels like there's just uncertainty in the air. It feels like something's coming as we're going into 2024. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. Does that make sense to you? Do you feel that way? If you do, do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. Or put a 2 if you think, now, Steve, you're just being paranoid. But it just feels like they're ramping up. Something's coming. I've heard people talk about elections. I've heard people talk about war, the pandemic, And I just feel like it's a good idea to be safe rather than sorry. I mean, if I've got extra water, extra toilet paper, extra food, so be it. I hope for the best, plan for the worst, right? Isn't that what they say? Somebody's saying they can feel it in the air as well. Yeah. And so, I'm just going to do my best to take care of my family and make sure that we're doing well, and I can share information to help people. And I really feel like information is knowledge is power. Jim Jones, thank you for the $1.09 light. Haven't prepped anything, says Jim Jones. Yeah, well, you don't have to. You can do whatever you feel. But for me personally, I know that I am just preparing. Why not? Especially after what came out from the FBI with potential infrastructure attacks. I mean, that is, what would happen if they released something that took down our power grid? How long would it take them to get it back up? What would we no longer have access to? What if there was some sort of EMP burst, electromagnetic pulse, that took out cell phones, that took out our computers and things like that? We'd be living in the 80s again. We are not set up to live like that. I believe those would take out vehicles as well, if I'm not sure. I think you have to figure out how to get them going again. How long would that knock us out? What would that do to our supply chains and our food and our water and things like that? So just, I think I'm not against preparing. Anybody that wants to take extra precaution, I am not knocking you. I think that is the wise thing to do. You are responsible for yourself and your family. That's my thought on it. So we'll see. I hope that we don't have to go down that route. But if we do, I don't think it's a bad idea to prepare and to make sure that we're covered. Somebody says, Kathleen Hogan says, love your channel. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it. I hope that the information is helpful. I'll keep you up to date on things. Amy says the 80s were great. The 80s, more like the 1880s, says 74 Deeds. They hit us with the SMP, says Jim. Ohio was the first state to report the mystery pneumonia. 142 cases so far, says Bud 710. Yes, it was Ohio, and then also Massachusetts now. And if more will come out, I'll let you guys know. If more states are reporting influx in cases of pneumonia, we should close down the airports. The best way to spread the outbreak, says Jeff Stalker. Yeah, that's what happened before, right? That's what caused the global pandemic outbreak, I believe. Let's see if there's any other questions. I am just recovering from walking pneumonia, and I'm pushing 50, says Skylar. Yeah. They're saying that it could take weeks, sometimes months to recover from it. And those that are immune compromised, very concerning, very concerning. Let's see here. Somebody's saying stop any new restrictions that could come. We'll see. It's very, it's just hard for me to, I don't know how people would take to it. If they try to reinstate a lot of the things that we had before, I think that people would, I don't know, what could we do if we were unhappy with them doing that? I see people saying, don't comply, it's very difficult. And I know also too, depending on what state you're in, some states enforce it more than others. Some states like California, New York, if you miss the video, wow, New York also has new rules that are just absolutely incredible. You have got to see the video I just released where Governor Kathy Hochul, she now has the official ability for them to determine if you're sick. They can put you in quarantine where they want, when they want, for whatever duration. There's no guidelines. It's really intense in New York. If this were to unfold, the amount of control that they would be able to have over you. Also, they enforce these really strictly in California. And then there's some of the other states like Florida and Texas where they're like, nope, we're not going to do it. Florida and Texas, they're like, if you do it again, we're not complying with anything that the federal government enforces. So it really depends on where you live as well. Somebody saying Democratic states. Yeah, unfortunately, it feels like it's politicized. Some of the ways that restrictions and things are enforced, it should be, it's just difficult. Somebody says, no fear, just knowledge is power. Yes, Stevis, 100% agree. Knowledge is power. And that's what I want to emit to you guys is knowing what's taking place. If you have the knowledge, you can prepare. I believe that knowledge is power. What does the Bible say? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. They're more precious than gold and silver. Gold and silver can go away, but if you have the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, those can bring you those things, and they can also prepare you, keep you, and they can be with you throughout your life to keep you safe. Hutchel is is Hochul. Jackie says, sorry, I know I mispronounced a lot of words. Hochul, that's what it is, for the governor of New York. God has got my back always and always will, says Liam Connor. Amen to that, Connor. I'm a believer as well. I believe God's got our back, but I think it's also good for us to be prepared. Hit the like button before the new flu gets you, says Gail Rose. Yes, if you're new on the channel, 2,739 people on. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Subscribe if this is your first time here. I'll keep you up to date on everything. And a lot of breaking news coming out during this live. We've been on for over an hour. Wow, okay. I didn't realize I've been on that long. But yes, breaking news coming out that this is spread. It's no longer just China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Netherlands, and India. It is now in the U.S. It's in a couple of different states here in the U.S. now, Ohio and Massachusetts. And I'll just take a look here because now we're also getting word that people have lost their lives as a result of this. And we're hearing that is also in Europe. And I've been on for an hour. Let me check and see if there's any other states, U.S. States pneumonia outbreak, because I don't know, it just seems like it's spreading. Maybe it's going to be in another state right now as well while we're on. Idarola and vitamin C for pneumonia, says Old Rounder Bro. Thank you for that. And thank you for the $2, Older Rounder Bro. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you for the support. I'm seeing also too, well, I think we've heard about this, that there's a dog pneumonia going around as well. The dogs are getting sick, but I don't see any others on states right now, just the dog pneumonia, and also that it is people are getting sick. Devin Strotter, thank you for the $5. My dad worked on the smallpox vaccination during the late 1990s and 2000s and told me about Operation Dark Winter when I was just a kid. Wow. I don't know about that, Devin Starter. I'll have to look into that. Is that what's unfolding right now? Is that what you're saying is the dark winter? You know, it seems like we're getting hit with these winter spikes, and it's just absolutely nuts. And it feels like when we're finally getting out of it and things seem to be getting better, now they're saying, guess what? Round 2 could be coming. So we will see. Somebody says praying for all of us. Yes. If you are a praying individual, please pray for our world, pray for our nation, pray for all of those that have conflict right now, pray for our health, pray for our wealth, pray for our salvation. Keep us in prayers, 100%. We need it right now. And as I mentioned, I said, like, it kind of feels like just like something's coming, and a lot of people are feeling that way. So prayers are needed. I believe prayer works. Alfred Presley says, don't believe me, watch and see. It's prophesied. Yeah, believers, know what the word says. I feel like it's no coincidence that they can't buy animal antibiotics anymore, says Amy. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Somebody said, don't believe the hype, says Norma Perez. Yeah, Norma, and I understand a lot of people are upset, skeptical. All these are linked in the description. I cite the sources. But also, too, a lot of people are saying they feel like it's just a coincidence that it's coming exactly 4 years later, right around the corner. We've got elections, and we've also got rules being implemented by New York that gives them incredible power during pandemics. It's just very disheartening. But whatever unfolds, I'll let you guys know exactly what's taking place. IYKYK says, why not err on the side of caution? Totally agree. Why not be safe rather than sorry? Aspen says, I think it's in Texas too. Aspen, do you have a news article for that? Let me know. Is it being reported? Please let me know. Not Texas. Come on now. Don't even put that out there, says 228 Fat. Yeah. We'll see. The way this is spreading, I would not be surprised if it starts to go out further. I think it's in Arizona, says Herbal. Again, if you guys have article information on that, please let me know. I only want to report stuff that I can cite. That's not speculation, so that way I can make sure it's good information going out. If you get those, please send them my way. Again, I'm on Instagram or TikTok, SteveRam3. Those are my only accounts. Grace McGettin, thank you for the $10. I so appreciate your updates on the daily things. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. I hope that it's helpful. 228 Fat says, thanks, Steve. Love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. I hope that it's helpful. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything. Let's see here. Anyone know the symptoms? My lungs are scarred from pneumonia twice, says Susan. Yes, Susan. Just to recap, this is primarily spreading in children and the elderly. Those that have weak immune systems are the most susceptible. They're saying there's cough. What were the other things? Let me see here if I can just find it for you very quickly. Let's see here. The report, Warrensville. Okay, here we go. The doctors say the most common symptoms are fever, cough, and fatigue. Hand washing and covering your mouth when you cough and staying up to date on your vaccinations will help you decrease your chances of illness, according to the news reports. Let's see here. They're saying that there has been a massive spike in illnesses reported at the schools, and this is coming after the outbreak in China. This is according to one of the articles that I'm referencing that came out today for you guys. Wow, and we've got almost 3,000 likes. 3 more people. Can I get 3 more people to hit the like button that have not done so yet? I would appreciate it. It just helps out the channel. Spread this out further. We can get 3,000 likes. That's more likes than people in the room right now. Steve, where do you read it spread in the Netherlands? I can't find anything here online. I'm in the Netherlands, by the way, says Eric Boyton. Eric Boyton. Okay, yes. So that came out last night. And Eric, that is linked in this description. It says, map shows country where pneumonia cases are rising after the China outbreak. That came out yesterday, November the 29th. That is from Newsweek. And I've seen a couple other articles as well. And it starts off, another country, the Netherlands, has reported a concerning rise in pneumonia cases among children following the outbreak of the illness in China. So I have that one linked in this video and in yesterday's video. In addition to that, I've seen a couple other articles confirming that it is happening in the Netherlands as well. So please be safe and use precautions for yourself and your family, whatever you feel necessary. Somebody says, take care all. Somebody says, I'm not taking any meds. Hi, says Hank Rod. For the people that are wearing masks alone driving, it's all flu season. In Texas, my son is sick, says Nisi Lady. Yes, it seems like there's a lot of sickness spreading, but we'll see. Hopefully that this does not turn into what we had 4 years ago. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything so that way you know exactly what's taking place. Heard anything about Washington State, says Debbie? We will see. If this spreads further, I'll let you guys know. But right now, the only reports coming out is Ohio and Massachusetts. So I will keep you guys up to date. But again, thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit subscribe to stay up to date. All sources are cited in the description. And for those new members that have signed on, these will pop up in your feed right after this. I'll cite them for you and they'll pop up. You can click the links and go read them for yourself on the latest. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.